All right. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And you have come upon the Tanya TKO live channel. This is the channel that I record my videos live and get your input. So you're in the right place if you want to interact with me for the broadcast, right? If you're interested in a more finished, polished video, you can head over to Tanya TKO TV. After we record this video, the video will be edited and then uploaded to the other channels. So welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. It's very, very early. So the few of you that get a chance to come in are going to be the lucky ones that get a chance to have your comments read inside of my broadcast today. Right now, we are broadcasting in live on YouTube as well as on Twitter Periscope. The subject of this morning's video is one that came highly requested. So if you all are ready, hey, you all talking about my makeup? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm getting ready to do the intro, so just stand by. Because today we're going to be looking at a lot of different videos. I spent most of yesterday doing research, so let's jump into it. I don't broadcast on Twitch. I thought that was pretty much for gamers. All of the young people I know on Twitch go there to be with their people playing Roblox and all those games over there. See, I do this live, but you all distract me. You distracted me with your comments. No, I'm not on. I'm only on Facebook. Look, I'm already on too many platforms. If you want to be my social media intern and start getting some of my broadcasts in different places, let me know. All right. So this video came highly requested. Oh God. It's early. I've been averaging about 5 hours of sleep a night. Oh, I'm so tired right now. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because I'm going to be broadcasting on live at 8 p.m. tonight on Fox Soul. So congratulate me. Give me some hands together for that. I'm also going to be responding to a video that a lot of you are sending me. So after we do this one, I'm going to drink and relax for the morning, and then I'm going to come back. So make sure your notifications are on, because we're going to be talking about this video where some guy was like, oh, you're average, you'll die alone, or some foolishness, right? Talking to some girl. A lot of you have sent me this video. You've even posted it on my Facebook group. Oh God. All right, are you all ready to get into the video? This is how the sausage is made, people. So you get a chance to, oh, you know something? I told you all I've been lifting weights, right? Look at this muscle definition right there. Do you see this curvature? Oh, don't mess with me. Look. You see that? Oh, tell me you saw that. Oh my goodness. This is, look. You see, oh, tell me okay, you know something? Listen. All right, listen. Don't sweat the technique. Okay, sweat the technique a little bit. Sweat the technique. You know what, ladies? Don't be afraid to lift weights, because they add nice definition underneath everything. Even those trapezius are looking. What am I doing? Come on, let's get into the video. I'm sorry. I got my notes and everything. I'm sorry. I'm bugging. It's early. All right. Let's get started. Oh, yes, darling. All right. I'm sorry. Let's jump into it. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here, and I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com, and I have been dubbed a relationship expert by Fox and NBC. No, let's start that again. Let's do it again. All right. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here, and I am a self-love specialist. You all are distracting me. You messing me up. Let's start this again. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's try again. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here, and I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com, and I have been dubbed by Fox and NBC as a relationship expert. And today, this video comes highly requested. We're going to be talking about True Kitchen Cocktails, where attorney Kevin Kelley went off on some Black women who were twerking in his restaurant. We're going to show you the full detailed videos. There are multiples of them. I did research all day yesterday to find the most accurate videos, as well as commentary from other people about what it is that they have. Because, like, look, this video has come highly requested. And when I first saw the video, I wasn't going to make a video in response to it. You know, we talk about self-love on this channel. So we're going to have to find the self-love angle. Maybe some of you can help me with that. This video is being recorded before a live studio audience right now. I thought that sounded nice. It is being recorded live right now. And so I'm going to be reading some of your comments in just a moment, but we're going to jump into all of these videos because I haven't seen one location show exactly what was going on from different angles and from different people's points of view, as well as when law enforcement came on the scene and the way the women were acting towards this man who is the type of man that so many of us Black women claim that we want. No? All right. So listen, let's jump into it. You can continue commenting in the comment section and I will come around to your comments. You know what? As a matter of fact, we got to get the headset in. We got to get the headset in. Give me 1 second. Some of you will notice my hair is different. I love my hair short. I feel like myself when my hair is short. I don't feel like myself when it's long. I feel different. I just love my hair short. I don't know how many other ladies out there are like that, but me, okay. Because I have such, I have such good features. You know, these features were meant to be seen. This beautiful neck, the trapezius, all of that was meant to be seen. All right, sorry, we're getting into the video. Oh, goodness. All right, here we go. All right, we're good. All right, producer, let me know if you can hear me. All right, good, we're good. All right, so here we go. Oh, goodness. All right, so let's jump into, let's see, first video. Let's play this one first, and then we'll jump into the other ones because I really want you to hear what he had to say.
In buying this building.
Okay, here.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so Black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to crime, take it to pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Oh, my. Okay. So that's what he said. Let's take a look at a few other videos to add context. So you're going to be like, well, what did they do? What did they do, right? And I'm going to show you, what it is that they did. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So I want you to take a look at this video. We're going to scrub through the video so that you can see exactly oh, you know what? We cannot do this music. Hold on. All right. Let's turn down this music. All right. I want you to look at this young lady right here in the circle. She's one of the people who were twerking. Look, booty all jiggling, up and down, up and down. They were playing throw that A in a circle. Here's another one. Here's some other ones, and the other ladies getting up and doing their thing. Look, they all out there dancing. This is when he comes over and he starts trying to talk to them. Let's scrub through a little bit more and see. Okay, so they're showing a video of, all right. Oh, you know what? While we're in this, let's play his apology, because he ended up coming out and making a statement. So let's play that. Let's play that. Oh, wow. This video has a lot in it that I didn't see. Oh, wow. Okay. Hold on. Let's play this.
Problem with twerking. At least that's the way I read it. Tell us about that.
Well, let me explain. First of all, I don't have a particular problem with twerking. At our restaurant, you're always going to hear music because we want to make sure that it's a constant positive vibe for our guests. One of the things that we don't want, though, is we don't want guests standing up in their seats, grabbing glass and twerking on glass. You know, for those who like twerking, we don't have a problem with it. There's lots of nightclubs people do it at. They do it in their home. But at our restaurant, we want to be mindful of that. Our restaurant is one where my mother eats at, my grandmother eats there, my sons work there, and we want to make sure we keep a good environment. And so I'm not here to make any indictment on people who twerk because it gives people a good time, but that's just not something that I can have in my restaurant. One of the most undervalued people in this world, or probably the most undervalued, is Black women. And I'm very mindful of how they look and how they appear. And we have so many classy and nice Black women that come to this restaurant that define what True Kitchen and Cocktails is. And the actions of the women standing on the sofa and pushing on the glass twerking is not that. And so when we talk about advancing the culture, I'm mindful of how we all look as people. And that's why I apologize for using the F word, but that's also why I'm very, very steadfast in making sure that our guests carry themselves in the right way at this restaurant.
But it does then sound like your issue is with twerking. And it's not that it somehow doesn't paint a proper picture the way you see it. And that doesn't seem to distinguish nightclubs versus your restaurant. It sounds like you don't think twerking is the proper way of presenting the culture. I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, the word you used was classy.
I'm not saying it's not the proper way to present the culture when you're dancing and having a good time at a club, but I am saying it's an improper way to present our culture in my restaurant.
Okay. Oops. Hold on. Sorry. Just, you know, Facebook comes up with these things and then you're trapped. Okay. Let's get back to my list of videos that I want to show you all. So that is video number 2. All right. I see some of you in the comments saying you just really didn't like his delivery, right? Let's take a listen to a young lady who went onto a radio station to talk about what she did not like about the way he went off. All right.
Going viral after a video is released of the owner on blast for twerking in his restaurant.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building.
I'm sorry. It's too much. Let's get forward. I want to get to the caller. Here we go.
Ghetto somewhere else. Like, I'm for real. Like, we already have a bad name. Right. And for y'all to just do that, come on now.
Let's go back a little.
Thing because it costs a lot to eat there. Reservations is very long.
Really? Hold on. Oh, sorry about that sound.
Well, I think I would have did the same thing because it costs a lot to eat there. Reservations is very long. And if you are gonna be ghetto somewhere else. Like, I'm for real. Like, we already have a bad name. Right. And for y'all to just do that, come on now. That is not Club Applebee's.
What the fuck you say?
And you know what? I hear that argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
all right, let's scrub forward.
I don't know about that.
Exactly. I mean, just because he's playing music doesn't give you the right to dance like you at a club. That is a sophisticated African-American restaurant. Like, come on. Like, come on.
Right. And that's what he says. I'm trying to create some.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that.
Let's scrub forward.
He more than once asked.
I treat you like a 14-year-old. I'm finna treat you like a 14-year-old or you 34. Like, come on.
What's your name?
My name is Didi out of Oak Cliff, residing in Highland Hills, Texas.
And I bet you do know how to twerk too.
And I do, but I know how to act and when to act. I can get low in the low and highs of the highs. I know I can be a chameleon. I know when and how to
absolutely. Act accordingly, people. Act accordingly.
Yes.
Hey, thank you for calling in, sweetheart.
Thank you, love. Have a good day.
I got my girl Jazzy Black on the phone. Jazzy, let's talk. Have you been to True Kitchen yet and Cocktails?
I haven't been yet. I've driven by there and it looks really cool though. But like, I have a lot of friends that went.
Okay, so the video's going viral.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got pretty rude. From what I saw, though, because he put out a post that said he asked these ladies repeatedly, very nicely, in a very respectful way to stop doing it. And they kept doing it, and that was the issue. Why don't you touch on how you feel about this a little bit?
My whole thing is, initially, when I saw the video, I can understand him saying, like, I don't want y'all twerking and stuff in here, just because it is, like, a professional environment. It is an establishment. And it's his. If I didn't want nobody twerking in my restaurant, then like.
He said in the video, I tried to create something nice for Black people so we can feel good good about ourselves. Like,
yeah, and that's cute. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it cute. But my whole thing was his tone and his intentions, and I can understand him feeling embarrassed because of the environment that he wanted to create, and he felt like people were coming in and kind of disturbing that. But it's also just like, you don't want to humiliate people because it is still a reflection of you, and it is a reflection of your business. So now that, you know, this thing is like going viral, it's almost just like, well, damn, like, will I be accepted? And then my whole thing is that people are talking about feeling like he's anti-Black, and it is a little bit anti-Black whenever like people like Cummins is just like, well, you know, I wanted to create this space for Black people, but then when it comes time for me to be unapologetically Black, now I have to tone it down.
Does that mean you have to twerk because you're Black though, Jazz?
That doesn't mean I have to twerk because I'm Black, but if I want to be unapologetically Black, then that's what I'm gonna do. What you mean? If I feel like deep in my soul,
I will
you know me.
I hear you. Now I will argue this online. It's kind of like 50-50 because I have seen some women like, I don't want to see people twerk.
Okay, I think we've heard enough of that. Lord. Okay, so unapologetically Black. Is that unapologetically Black? So I see some of you in the comments saying he scolded the whole restaurant over one person. Was it one person or was it multiple people? I showed you a video where there were at least 2 people standing up. 3 more stood up. We know that there's a difference between a restaurant and a place that has a cabaret license where people are legally able to dance. And we know that restaurants can get fined. He said that he had an issue with the girl putting her hands on the glass because if she broke through, then there would be a lawsuit. So let's watch some more videos. I want you all to see more in context. So let's take a step backwards and get into a video that I saw that had a lot of different clips in there. And one that I saw in particular that I wanted you all to see. Let me refresh my page because I ended up saving it in my saved area. Okay, here we go. I wanted you all to see this video because it had a lot of juicy gems in there that showed when the police arrived.
So guys, this is the
All right, let's get to where the footage starts. Let's see.
And I guess the ladies that was at their table.
All this hollering. God, it's embarrassing. Look, you see this? The marshals have come, or police, whomever. Look at people arguing with him. Standing up, pointing fingers at him, arguing.
That's my friend right there. Hey, Pam. I mean, security had to be called. Ooh.
So law enforcement came to get them out. So he did have to call law enforcement.
So here is another video. I'm just showing y'all.
So don't do it. No, don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
They want to change the music.
So you hear him hollering at him. He's going to come back and say something that I think is so important.
You stand on the glass twerking, you get out my restaurant, okay? No, you carry yourself like a lady. You get up. You're a lady dancing on the glass. I'll get the trooper for you real quick. No, you talking to the goddamn owner of the restaurant and the building.
Listen, did you hear that? Did you hear that? So she's chastising him for how he's speaking. And he says, you're talking to the goddamn owner of the restaurant. And what? Listen, I want you to hear what he said. Let me rewind that just a little bit. Take a listen. Turn up your volume if you need to.
You stand on the glass twerking, you get out my restaurant, okay? No, you carry yourself like a lady. You get up. You're a lady dancing on the glass. I'll get the trooper for you real quick. No, you talking to the goddamn owner of the restaurant and the building.
Right. So did you hear him? Did you hear him? He said you're talking to the goddamn owner of the restaurant and the building. From what it is that I've heard, this man is not only an attorney with his own law firm, he's a real estate investor who owns multitudes of properties in Texas and maybe even beyond Texas. I don't know. But he says something really important because they're arguing with him about whatever it is. All I hear is this. I can't understand what they're saying. But he has to let them know, I own this restaurant and I own this building. one of the things that he said that I'm just like, ugh, a little cringy about is he's chastising them about acting like ladies. And I feel his pain. I took some notes and we're going to jump into that in just a little bit. But I wanted you to be able to see and hear how they were arguing with him, see that law enforcement was called, and then see some other things. Let's see.
I'm just saying, you know.
All right. So this is some footage.
Now here is.
So this is some footage of it may have been earlier in the night or another night, but there were people who were line dancing in there. They were line dancing, and so you see there are women standing up and they're doing some line dance across the way, and oh, they're getting jiggy with it and everything. But did he come over and try to stop them from line dancing? Because we talked about the cabaret license, and there are places that just don't have, there are restaurants that if you don't have a cabaret license legally, people cannot be dancing in your location. But these people were dancing, right? I'm going to show you something else, right? Hold on, let's see. Let's turn the volume up. You know what? The thing is, he's stressing himself out over what?
Hey, Gwen.
And he's like, so look, so this is.
Came across as I was reading. It's
okay,
on
so
that,
listen.
the atmosphere.
Okay.
Plus cocktail.
Okay, so look, he's stressing himself out. Over what? Over what? He's stressing himself out for what? Over some people. Let's see if we can find some more footage of. So that was, so we showed you some of the women who were twerking. I'm going to turn down this volume. Let's get this sized up. I want to show you, there was the girl who was twerking on the glass. All right. Because we saw the girl who was jiggling her booty, throwing it in a circle, but where's the young lady who was putting it on the glass? Let's see, because that was he said that was one of his concerns, right? So we saw this footage of the young lady who was throwing in a circle in the corner over there. You see this person standing up, this other person standing up, right? Let's see. And where is, all right. Let's go out. I'm going to show you something else. Let's stop this share. I'm going to share another video with you all. Okay, so Black Buddha Fly is saying, I think the girl, with all the girls up on the glass is what bothered him the most. Okay. Okay. So let's continue going forward. I wanted to show you something else. So we are going to take a look at Chrissy's video, because Chrissy did a video where she actually showed Black men on top of the tables dancing. It looks like it's a private catered event, but they're saying that the owner of the restaurant was actually on top of the tables with the fellas. So let's take a look at that, because I wanted you all to see that in particular. So we're going to have to scrub through Chrissy's video because the portion is deep inside the video, but we're going to scrub through and see, right? So let's see if we can find, first of all, let's see if we can find the young lady. Let's see. Let's hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure that the volume is coming through for this. Let me try again. I need to share the screen again. Give me just 1 second. Okay. All right. All right. So let's see.
Buying this building,
of you have already heard about the twerking.
All right, so this is the young lady. So you see the people standing up dancing. In the beginning of the video, you see the young lady on the glass doing her thing like she's a private dancer up against the glass, right? So this was one of the things that, so he came out, that's him. This is clearer video footage of it, but let's scrub through. So that's him, I guess, on a private jet or whatnot. So take a look at his face, because we're going to be looking at the footage of him on top, or possibly him on top of the table, right? So let's take a look where he was. Okay, here we go. Here we go. They're claiming that he's on top of the table. This is tagged as, the kitchen, True Kitchen Cocktails. It's tagged as True Kitchen Cocktails. So let's take a look and see.
And you can't only have that energy for Black women and nobody else, and then expect us not to notice or expect us not to say anything. Because there's another video I saw of Black men and the actual owner of the restaurant, to my understanding, dancing on the tables in kitchen and cocktails, and also behaving in a.
Let's see if we could get this larger. Let's get this full screen for you. All right. Is that him? Let's take a play and see. Is that him on the table?
So I do have some questions about this so-called upscale.
So one of the things that I want you to take a look at.
If this was a private party where the men were dancing on the table.
Look, speaking of whether it's a private party, if you look on the table, there's platters of catered type of food, right? She's saying this could be the owner. Is that the owner? Does he have a goatee down there? It doesn't look like him to me, but maybe you all know the other guy in the tuxedo is darker complected than he is. But you see that there's catered food there, right? So is it a private event? Is this something? And then also, does he have different rules for different nights? Does he have different rules for catered events? Are things different when there are different people there? Should he have spoken to the Black women the way that he spoke to them? I pretty much showed you all of the videos that I wanted to show you. So let's jump into my commentary on the topic, right? Let's jump into my commentary. All right. For those of you who are just getting in, we are live right now. So drop your comments below, because I am going to start pulling comments from the comments area and getting your take on it. So get your comments ready. If there's a comment you really want me to see, just continue to cut and paste the comment in until you can even tag me or something, and then I'll see it. All right, so let's start. So Kevin Kelley, the owner, he's a real estate mogul. He is an attorney at law who owns his own law firm, and the law firm is named after him. So he's not just a partner, he is the owner. And he is somebody who has come out to say that he has created this restaurant for Black people to have someplace nice to go. And look, in my opinion, let me just jump into it. I think one of his first mistakes is creating something for Black people. Listen, I said it. I think one of his first mistakes is creating something for Black people, because Black people are not a monolith. There are many different types of Black people. And if you create something for people just based on the amount of pigmentation or melanin in their skin, it leaves the area and the door too broad, because there's a lot of different types of Black people out there. There's Caribbean Black people, African Black people, Portuguese Black people, there's Brazilian Black people. As a matter of fact, during the transatlantic trafficking trade, most of the Negroid humans who were trafficked were taken to Brazil. I believe it was 70% were taken to Brazil, only 4% were brought to the US. So what type of Black people are we talking about? We're talking about African Blacks. We're talking about Blacks from the South, from the northern part of the United States, the southern part. Are we talking about high socioeconomic status? Are we talking about low socioeconomic status? Because he has this restaurant that he says is upscale, and I think that there are a lot of contradictory things that are going on. So I heard we heard the audio broadcast where the young lady was like, "Oh, it takes a long time for reservations. It's very expensive." I would have to say not expensive enough. Price these people out. It's unfortunate, but Caucasians do this all the time. They don't say, "Oh, this is not for you." All they do is they just price your behind out. They price it in such a way that there's certain people who can't afford to get there, can't get there by public transportation, cannot come there very often, because even if you have to skip your rent or your light bill in order to go there, how often can you really go there? In my opinion, I think he needs to price people out, unfortunately. But you see, part of the issue is that he's trying to do something for the culture. Which culture? There's a different culture that exists in people of different economic statuses. right? And so when you try to do something for the culture, you really have to be more specific. So let's jump into it. Listen, I don't offer blanket allegiance to anybody based on their pigmentation or melanin. I see people who put up posts, they're like, I love Black men. I can't say that. I remember when there were white people who would come to my page and they'd be like, can you say that you like white people? I can't say that either. I have to look at people on an individual basis. If I'm going to be giving my allegiance and loyalty to a person, I can't say that I like all of any group of people because they have melanin or don't have melanin. You know, we can talk about patterns that exist in the greater part of society, but when we start talking about giving out blanket allegiance, no, I don't do that at all. You will not hear me saying that I love all of anything because I am a Black business owner. I'm gonna tell you all this, right? I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 13 years old. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I placed my first advertisement in a magazine, right? And the people who called who were unmistakably Black, right? Like I thought I was going to do something and help people and all this other stuff, right? The people who called who were unmistakably Black, the way that they sounded and behaved on the phone, it was stunning. And for people who don't live around some Black people, certain types of Black people, you may not know what's going on out there. I lived in Harlem. And I thought, oh, it's going to be like the Cotton Club and oh, to go to Harlem and ew, to be around my peoples. And when I went there were Negroes standing on the door stoop selling drugs. There were people who would be selling drugs, not want to keep the drugs on them, and put their drugs up in the wheel of somebody else's car, and then just go and get the drugs from the wheel of somebody else's car, now mind you, and then hand off the drugs however it is that they were doing it. They would pee in the hallways. They would be fighting outside. They'd be cussing, beating one another. It was unbelievable. Some Black people don't want better. So you have to, when you start talking about target audience, listen, he said 75% of the people who come to his restaurant are Black women. Look, that can be dissected in many different ways. And there's deeper implication here, but I want to get through all of my notes. If 75% of the people who come to his restaurant are women, 25% are men. We're not even talking about 50-50 where people are coming out on dates or men are coming out with their boys or whatnot. 75% of the people coming to the restaurant are female. I think this is problematic for many different reasons. And it adds into why these women were getting spoken to like that. I think they were getting spoken to like that for two different reasons. One, because they were acting a damn fool in the restaurant. And two, because they behave in a way that showed that they did not have the socioeconomic power to make a true impact on society. This is why the police treat us the way that we do. You hear police officers saying, when they have to reach their quota, they come up to Black neighborhoods to arrest Black people in Black neighborhoods because we don't have the power to be able to cause true repercussions to them. And so Black women, we have to look at ourselves. When I titled this video, the unfortunate truth, Black women, we have to look at ourselves and we have to look at our choices and how our choices shape the landscape of society. How our choices and who it is that we choose to continue to procreate with, and the standards that we have in our own neighborhoods and areas that continue to perpetuate the low classness that exists in many areas where we allow people to come in and out of our wombs. Listen, all of these things make a difference. People dropping off babies that are not cared for and us continuing to procreate with people who are not caring for their children and not demanding a standard. After this video, we're going to jump into a video from a man who is talking about this woman is in her 30s. She deserves to die alone because she looks average. A lot of you have been sending me that video, and we're going to jump into that after this video. because we need to talk about mating choices, and we need to talk about the types of attention that we're given to certain types of people and the standards, because some people want you to have low standards. Like that man, he's interested in breaking down people. So the guy in the video we're going to review, he's interested in breaking down Black women's self-esteem, because then it leaves your womb and your uterus and your vagina open to different people running in and out of. Right. So we're going to jump into that. But Black women, we need to make choices that shift the landscape. It's like there are certain Black men who benefit from you not having standards. They don't want you to have standards. They don't want you to demand of Black men to do better, to lift higher, to raise the vibration. They don't want you to, because they want to be able to have access to you and jump in and out. Like, have you ever seen those movies on those adult sites where there's one man and a bunch of different people bending over and he's going from one area to the next? That never made any sense to me, because while you going around poking, there's a whole bunch of people who just are not receiving any satisfaction. But this is what they want. They want you to just be there alone and available for them to just come and they're in their selfish ways, just poke in and out of you. That's what they want. So when we were saying, I want to get back to my point about having allegiance, because like a lot of us are like, I just love me. So I love Black men. Love men who love you. Love men who are doing something with themselves, with their lives, men who want better. Don't just give your allegiance, your love, your body to somebody just because their parents happen to have a certain amount of melanin and happen to get together. It just doesn't make any sense. Because if you think about it, the person who yelled, "Get your hand out my pocket," in the Nation of Islam temple, which led to the assassination of Malcolm X, it was a Black person who did that. The person who gave the CIA the layout for Fred Hampton's apartment, where he lay at night with his pregnant girlfriend, and they came down and assassinated him while he lay next to a woman who was with child. The person who gave the exact layout so that the people could infiltrate at night and know where it is that they were going to find his room, that was a Black person. So no, I'm not giving my allegiance to just a person because they're Black, because they have a certain amount of melanin. And I think that one of the mistakes that this restaurant owner made is not further qualifying what type of Black people, because like you heard that girl on the radio, when I want to be unapologetically Black. Okay, so that's her version of unapologetically Black, coming into a place twerking, and now she feels like she can't be accepted. And I see some of you inside of the comments commenting about, how he shouldn't have spoken to them like that. It's like, it's an energy. He wants something from people, from a certain group of people who are not able to give him what he wants. And he is obviously frustrated. He is obviously at his wit's end. And he is obviously in a section of his mind, his heart, his spirit, where he felt that is what he had to do in that moment. And he knew that if he did that there would be what type of repercussions. You're hollering at people who are acting the fool. It's like you want to be spoken to. There's some things that really confuse me about us, right? As Black women, there are a few things that confuse me, because it's like we want to be able to receive queen treatment. We want to be able to receive all out deference and people bowing down before us. But are we willing to do the hard work to demand that type of deference, to demand that type of queen treatment? It's like, yes, every single person deserves a blanket level of respect because they're human. That's it. Everybody deserves to not be bothered and not be harassed or harangued and all of that, because we are human. We deserve our human rights. Patronizing a person's place of business. Like you all know, I mean, some of you have come to try to tussle with me. When I owned TKO Skin, I priced my products. Listen, I priced a lot of people out of my product. And there were only certain types of people who were then my customer base, because a great portion of people were priced out. And there were some people who tried to come and tussle with me. I don't play these games. I don't play those games. There were people who would be like, oh, I'm patronizing your business because you're Black. I said, no, patronize my business because you need the product. Don't try to do anything for me because then you feel like I owe you something. Because he feels that these women owe him, because he feels that Black people owe him because he's created this restaurant for them to have someplace nice to go. No, create a restaurant that create a restaurant that is a service to people, that has good food, and price it in such a way that the clientele that you want will be able to be there. The clientele that you don't want will not be able to be there. And implement dress codes. Because if one of the things that we saw, I mean, people were talking about the restaurant is expensive. There's no dress code there. Implement a dress code. Implement other factors that will naturally weed people out. Because we have people who are like, oh, you see them there with all types of jeans, and I don't see any cloth napkins on the tables. I mean, we've been to upscale restaurants. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean that it's upscale. He's playing music like Throw That Ass in a Circle. And I understand. Listen, this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of confusion going on here. So it's like, so you're playing, listen, personally, when I go to an upscale restaurant, I listen to that song. I went and I listened to the song, Throw That Ass in a Circle. And he in the song, it was like, throw that ass in a circle. Throw that ass in a circle. Don't make my penis hard like a turtle, a shell of a turtle. My penis hard like shell of a turtle. And it was ridiculous to me. It's like, I go to a high scale restaurant. I don't want to hear that. So it's like, did he create a restaurant for the sophisticated? Like the young lady we talked about the other day, who was talking about how she's sophisticated and ratchet at the same time. So is his clientele the sophisticated? I don't know. I listen, do you want to hear throw that ass in a circle, the penis hard like a shell of a turtle, and just going on talking about how he ride me, girl, put your face down. Oh, I don't want to hear that when I'm eating. So listen. Let's go better. Let's go forward. I just want to make sure that I say all of my notes, right? Oh, listen. Some Black people want to do better. Some Black people don't. You know, one of the things that we have is we have Black people who perpetuate certain toxicness of our culture. It's toxicity that exists in certain facets of our culture, where we are like, oh, I'm unapologetically Black because I'm face down, ass up in a restaurant. Come on. You know, we have got to branch outside of our circles. Those who know better do better. And he's obviously talking to people who don't know better. So they can't do better because that's all that they know, but they need to be able to question what it is that they've come to know as true. They need to be able to question. One of the best things that my mother did was marry a man from another culture. Marry a man who was statistically more likely to be in his children's lives. One of the greatest things that I received from growing up in a bicultural household is that what was normal for my mother and what was normal for my father were very different things. So I had a chance as a child to be able to question, well, if she thinks this is normal and he thinks that this is normal, then what's normal? I got a chance to question what's the path that I want to take. You know, I know sometimes I'm really hard on people who have very deep Southern accents, but I was just one relationship away from being born in the South myself, from having a deep Southern accent and being a very, very different person. I sometimes think, what type of woman would I have been if my father was a Black American man? What type of woman would I have been if my father was not there? What type of woman would I have been if my father was ignorant? You know, if my mother was ignorant, if I grew up in a household where the lights were constantly being turned off, where we had struggle love and that became normal for me, and I didn't have something to shift the juxtaposition of normalcy in my life, who would I have been? And this is part of the reason that in my matchmaking service that I'm developing, I'm creating ways for Black people to be able to date biculturally, to marry and intermarry biculturally, because I think it's important that we experience different cultures. I think it's important that our children are raised and able to question question religion, question literature, question culture, customs, society, question the economy. I think that that's how we grow. And so this man, there are things that he loves about Black culture. Yes. But there are also, what's that word for when contradictions? There are also contradictions to the way that he's going about doing it. Because yeah, maybe he's, he's a wealthy man. And the thing that really troubles me about this is that this is the type of man, this is the type of Black man that so many Black women say that they want. Yet, are you the type of Black woman that can really even keep on par with a Black man like that? Like, what is their issue with him? So, like, you saw them standing up, screaming, pointing in his face, and all of that when the marshals had to come in. So here's a Black man. What is he doing wrong? He's buying buildings, creating businesses, creating jobs, creating locations for Black people. And yet they come there face down, ass up in his restaurant, jiggling their butt cheeks and busting themselves against the glass so that what? When they bust through the glass, then they have a lawsuit against him. And when he says something and continues to say something, or when he just calls the police on them, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Many Black people don't want to call the police because we know that can become a deadly situation. Thank goodness the marshals that showed up there were Black. And this is part of the reason that we need to infiltrate many different areas throughout our society. This is part of the reason that we need to infiltrate through many areas of our society so that we're in law enforcement, so that we're in the courthouse, so that we're in the entrepreneurial stations. And so it's like, I'm all over confused about this whole thing because he has contradictions in what it is that he is interested in after. He wants Black women to uphold and listen. He wants Black women to be sophisticated and classy and carry themselves in a certain way. And there are some Black women who do. And there are other Black women who don't. And he wants to be able to have these sophisticated women that also like to listen to trap music and the booty shake music as well, and be able to discern and differentiate between when there's a time to do XYZ and when there's not, when it's inappropriate. And so he may know, but everybody doesn't know. Oh gosh, let's see. I have a few more items. Okay. If it were white people, would he have behaved that way towards them? If it was a bunch of white women twerking and stuff like that in the restaurant, would he have cursed them out that way? I think part of the reason that he cursed them out is because it hit so close to home for him because of what it is that he's trying to do and the esteem that he holds Black people in, the esteem that he holds Black women in, and the level of frustration that he felt that evening. That's one. Two, of course, I think that I think that white people have created structures in society that if they are not, I don't want to say the word harm, but if they are slighted, that they have recourses that will make it very uncomfortable for a person if they are slighted. So they've created these controls in place. So white women are able to elicit upon the power of white men to be able to get justice for themselves. This is part of the reason that white women voted against their interest in the 2016 election and voted alongside the interests of white men, because white men are the ones who advocate for them. And so if it were a bunch of white women, I think that people in general think, well, I see this person here and I see that this person is behaving this way, but we don't know who this person is aligned with that may make things very uncomfortable for me. And I think that there's a greater likelihood of being made uncomfortable when you slight white people than when you slight Black people. And I think that this is a multi-pronged issue. that goes with Black women's selection of men and continuing to select men who do not protect or provide societally. So we know on an individual basis, yes, but when we start talking about the forest, we have a lot of short trees. We don't have an army of tall trees protecting the shorter trees. We just have an army of shorter trees who do not align themselves and demand the protection and provision from the bigger, taller trees to be able to step in and be like, no, sir. No, sir. And I think that we as Black women need to make different choices. And when we start talking about that, remember there was a comedian that came out. I don't remember if it's Chris Rock or someone else who came out. It was Chris Rock, either Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, who came out talking about the hoe uniform. Do you remember that? And he was like, oh, well, you're dressed like a hoe. So I thought that you were a hoe, right? And in response to that, now that's respectability politics. I don't agree with that. But let's take it a step further. Black women retorted to that to say, well, listen, Black men, you have on a thug uniform, and this is why the police are treating you this way, right? And I think that it matters. I think that we want to pretend as if it doesn't matter. But our power in this society matters. Our lack thereof matters. The structures that we have in place for repercussions or recompensance or the lack thereof, that matters. The army that we have at our disposal or the lack thereof matters. How it is that we present, unfortunately gives cues to people about whether or not it is more likely that they can victimize you or not. And there are certain people who sound a certain way. You sound a certain way. I remember when I was in California. Remember the day that I was at the post office and I was waiting for my package and somebody called the marshal on me. And the marshal approached my truck and began speaking to me. And I was actually on the phone with customer service with the Postal Service when he approached, right? And so there will be people who will approach different, they can see that you have on whatever uniform it is that you have on, however it is that you're presenting, they see the Black skin and they think that you're XYZ, right? And there are other people who have all of these different feelings, et cetera, on the inside about how they feel about Black people. And there are certain people that they will approach and they will feel the energy. There was a Black woman, right? She was like a district attorney or something. She was some heavy hitter in this town. And some people, some police pulled her over and she was very calm then. She was like, yeah. And she was listening to them. You all remember the video. And she was like, And the police officers were frightened of her from the way that she carried herself. What is the difference between the way that she carried herself and the way that Sandra Bland carried herself? Now, listen, like I said, every single person deserves to have their human rights respected. However, there are certain cues and clues that you give as a human being that alerts people to whether or not you are more likely or less likely to cause them issues and problems. And when that marshal came upon me and I was already on the phone with customer service from the Postal Service, he stood there. I don't know if he heard my vernacular, my verbiage, or felt my energy, but he backed the F up and he went about his damn business. He did. I didn't have to say I was like, I'm on the phone with Postal Service customer service right now. And I said, sir, what is your name? And I got his name and he backed away from my car, got in his vehicle and left. I filed complaints about that because that was still putting my life in jeopardy. And I had the person who was the manager at that post office. I don't know if she was demoted from her duties because I saw her doing a different job when I came in there the next time. And she held her head down and gave me deference every time she saw me after that. Nonetheless, what is it that we can do? Because there are certain people, listen, when listen, I am not making any excuse for people who victimize other people. If anything, listen, we are the minority in this country. And we should be taken care of by the greater masses, because there are far too many of us who don't know better. There are far too many of us who do not speak proper English, so that when people come upon us and we're mush-mouthed and our words are garbled and jarbled, you know, we should be able to not be judged by that. But people are able to hear and they're like, oh, this person, it'll cause me less problems if I harm this person. And yes, there are people who are well-spoken, well-educated, and with great demeanor who are also harmed. And we see that there is a difference in the response from that person's team. Now, there are some ignorant mother effers out there who see just because you're Black and all they hear is, oh, ooga booga, ooga, no matter who you are or what it is that you have or how you present. They'll hear ooga booga, but the joke is on them, goddamn. The joke is on them. All I'm saying is do what it is that you need to do. Present how you need to present. You know that we have to work twice as hard to get where? Twice as hard to get where? Half as far. You know that. This is the way that things are today, and we cannot underachieve and expect for all of the gems and jewels and graces of all of these I can't even think of it. We can't expect for all of these jewels and gems and the graces to fall upon us when we aren't even investing in ourselves. And so invest in yourself. Decrease the likelihood that you will get hollered on in a restaurant. And listen, I think people are doing the right thing. They're calling him out on his BS, and I hope that he makes a change in his business, so that he either prices people out, implements some dress code, or does something so that he doesn't have to be up there hollering at people, ruining the dining experience for all of the other people in the restaurant. Listen, I've said everything. I said everything that I wanted to say. I'm going to read some of the comments now. So from this moment forward, I'm going to be looking at the comments. So just make sure that you type whatever comment it is that you want me to put up there. What is it that you think about this? Me personally, am I on the fence? Listen. I don't care if people are line dancing. I don't want to be in a restaurant where people are line dancing next to me in the restaurant. I don't want, unless that's the environment that I want. And with that comes other people whose standards are different. So you get what you get when you patronize certain places. You patronize a place that is playing trap music. Listen, there could be some dancing involved, and dancing that goes along with the trap or the booty shake music that is being played at this establishment. Let's go forward. Yuma is saying, I feel like his music choices could have been better. He chose to pick sexualized music when Black music come from jazz, country to classical rap. Yes. S. Stern says, yes, dancing and sweating on the food. H.L. Watts says he was playing twerk music, but mad at patrons for twerking. He created the atmosphere for twerking. Stella is saying, I wonder if he's single because he seems to care a lot about Black women, what Black women are doing. It's more than just the money for him. Interesting. Yes. All right. So Mojo is saying, Tanya, one of the most potent and true statements you've ever uttered. My allegiance is to people who love and respect me, not color first, me first, not Black first. I don't care. All right, I hear that. Serena is saying his restaurant didn't look like a top tier restaurant. He has the right to chastise them. Twerking there. There's a time and a place. Okay. Shark is saying they were wrong for dancing like that. I wish he would have just politely excused them from the establishment. You should not put your feet on the furniture, the white furniture. Child, listen, I hear you on that. Tam Tam is saying, I would have not stepped foot in this place. The advertising seemed confused. I don't like to go to sketchy places like this. So Tam Tam is not going to go to this place. And Blackberry saying, I love your point of view. It summed up every other opinion I heard. Okay, I hear that. Thank you. A Nuke is saying he gave them warning after warning and they didn't have to twerk because the music made her do it. I know, right? But listen, I'll tell you this much. Listen, when that soca comes on, I can't control myself. You all have seen me when we do our dance parties. That soca comes on. I cannot stay in my seat. I remember one time I was driving through Atlanta with my brother, and this soca got so sweet. I said, brother, pull over. And I was right out there on the bridge, just dancing, walking. It just gets in you. So I don't have that type of connection to booty shake music. But when that soca comes on, oh Lord, I can't stay in my seat. I can't. Erin is saying, kind of hard to have glass partitions in a place and allowing dancing at your discretion. I know that's right. Valerie is saying, could have played Samuel Medas, Afrobeats, Techno, Burna Boy. Yeah, he could have played a lot of things. Miss McGee is saying he should have escorted them out immediately. Well, you know what? Refund their money and get them out. All of the people who were twerking. It's as simple as that. Rather than standing up there, but he wants the people to dine and to eat and all of this. And then how do you escort a person out without security? So it's like maybe he didn't want to call security. You know, it's like you're putting people's life in danger. Erica De Niro is saying it's a pandemic with a whole bunch of exclamation marks. That's another thing that I was looking at. I ain't seen not a mask in sight. And all these people gathering up together, laughing and squirting out their exhalations all over the place, breathing hard. I cannot. Let's see. So many is saying, but no one is going to get up at work or on a plane and start twerking because the music is on. You know what? Listen, I don't know if I could stay in my seat, even on a plane, if that soca gets into me. I just have to turn off the music. Now, if the plane is playing soca and I cannot get away from the music, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's going to be some problems. I don't know. Listen, some music just gets in you. You know what I'm saying? It just gets in you. It's so sweet. Jay is saying, yes, love me some soca. So my soca-holics know. And so Neo is saying, I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy, mood, blackness, or nasty equal blackness. Listen, I don't know. Listen, I don't even know the words. I'm reading them as you wrote them. Listen. So Ash is saying, like I said, this is a case. This case is completely for the health department. Case closed. Well, child, listen. Nisha is saying, music don't determine your behavior. If they start playing trap music, should be bring out the scales and the... I'm done. Leave me alone. Get off my screen. So you can bring out the scales and the product. Get away from me. You make the water come out my eye. Oh God, you hear the trap music. They start singing about slanging. Then you got to go get the scales out. Listen. Melanin is saying everybody don't have good twerking wind, so I don't want to see that while I'm eating. Or twerking wind or wind, I don't know, because you can wind up your backside. So Honey is saying, so y'all blaming the man that people hoe? I don't understand the comment. I don't know what's going on. People, I think the comments are all over the place. I think the comments are here and there. Tina Lambert is saying he just had enough. He tried many times to get them to calm down. He felt he was being disrespected, so he handled it just the way he was feeling. It was harsh, but I believe they got it, did they? Because now it's a it's a problem. Valerie is saying if you wait, hold on. No, VB is saying let's talk about why is his restaurant packed during a pandemic? I don't in Dallas. Remember, he's in Texas. What are the laws in Texas in terms of indoor dining? We'd have to ask that question. Erica is saying music is frequency. It does determine your mood. Child, listen, I tell you what. All right. Oh, Tam Tam is saying this is not the first time. He done this before. It's the first time recorded. Is it? Show me. Has it never been recorded in the land of social media and cell phones? If he's been carrying on like this, has it never been recorded? And then also, if this is something that has happened before with the twerking, why is he continuing to play the type of music that is inspiring this behavior? He needs to go put on some Beethoven. Even though I did hear Beethoven turned into trap music, they was like dum, 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 and they were like dum, 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 dum. It did have. It was hot though. It's hot. Okay. Rico is saying, are Black women serious? Are you still wondering why Black men are marrying out? Oh, please, listen, babe. If you want to quote unquote marry out, go. Why are you on a Black woman's channel? Just skedaddle, scoot, vamoose. Just go. It's like, it's very easy. Leave. You don't have to address Black women at all. Don't come to Black women's channels. Don't comment on Black women. Just go be among the people that you want to be among. But you know what? I already know come Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, come all these holidays, you married, quote unquote, married out, we know who you're going to be calling up on the phone, because ain't no party like a Black person party, because a Black person party don't stop. Ain't no barbecue like a Black person barbecue, because the Black person barbecue don't stop. Listen, being Black in America is an amazing experience. There's just so much soul and culture and fun that comes along with it. So go ahead, go get your string bean casserole and go get your cranberries in your potato salad, your peaches in your potato salad, and go. Just go. So somebody is saying that Dallas is all the way opened up, so Texas is open, so they don't have the same issues as other states. Well, they have the same issues, they just don't have the same regulations. So A Nuke is saying he obviously don't know what he's doing because the place stays booked. Wait. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. He obviously knows what he's doing because the place stays booked. In Texas, Black owned during a pandemic. Come on now. Give him his props. These people are risking their lives to eat there. LOL. Child, what you talking about? All right. So let's go. All right. Let's see. Kenny G Twerk. Listen, listen. Oh goodness, Shark loves some string bean casserole. Well, you know what? You go right on ahead and love your string with the crunchy onions on there, girl. Listen, you go right on ahead. Listen. Now, if that was all you was gonna have and you wasn't never gonna have no more collard greens, let's see how happy you would be. If you married into a family where all there was string bean casserole, would you be happy? No collard greens, no yams, none of that. You're just gonna have your string bean with your crunchy onions. Would you be happy? Oh Lord, you all are talking about your string bean casseroles. Here go lovely. My mom makes a good string. I cannot imagine it. No, because I went to listen. I spent the Thanksgiving once. I spent at least 2 Thanksgivings outside of the culture. One particular Thanksgiving that I spent outside of the culture, they pulled out the string bean casserole. I said, oh, what is? Yeah. I said, what's this? And I'm looking around. it was a different experience. After we ate, it just people, it just wasn't, it wasn't lively, it wasn't soulful, there was nobody playing board games and laughing heartily and having a good time. Everything was so folded white napkin. That's the way it was. It was just like folded white napkin. After dinner, some people went and sat down and was watching TV. Other people left. I'm like, where's the music, the dancing, the liveliness, the board games, the fun, the playing, you know, the what do you call that when you charades and all of that? So it's like, yeah, being Black in America is a lot of fun. There's just an energy to it. This is why these same men who are talking about how they're marrying out, they still gravitate. They still gravitate to the pages because there's an energy. Listen, I spent a year in Japan. I've traveled and I've spent time outside of the US. I've spent time away from Black people. I've spent time away from Black women. And there is an energy, even in the most ratchet of ratchetest. There's a warmth that Black women seem to possess that I just have not been able to find anywhere else. And this is why there are so many men who are talking about how much they don't like Black women on a Black women's channel because they just can't stay away. They see that melanin pop pain. They see that. Okay, you know what? We've gone over. Let's listen. We've gone overboard now. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I read your comments. I want to. If you're watching this video after we've aired, I want to hear your comments. What do you think about this situation in the club? You know, what do you think? Oh, sorry, it wasn't a club in the restaurant. This is what I'm saying. They're acting like it's a club. What are your thoughts? Would he have been that way if they were white? Even if they were redneck white? Because, you know, I've lived around rednecks before too. Would he have been that way if they were Black men in there? I mean, you don't want to confront all Black men. I did hear on the Roland Martin show that there were some Black men who were behaving a little out of the and he refunded their money and got them out of there. Oh, listen. Listen. Frequency is saying interracial marriages have a 90% divorce rate. I don't think I can lay next to a wrinkly bag. Listen, a lot of these bags out there are wrinkly. What you talking about? A modern day juke joint, somebody else is saying. Oh, Lord. We got Ezra watching from the UK. Ezra, I want to hear, what are Black people like in the UK? Because you know what? I mean, in the close inner circles, is there a warmth that Black people just have all across the world? Because that has been my experience, whether I'm in Japan, UK, Europe, where else? Asia, well, especially Africa. There's a lot of Black people in Africa. S turned to say, I'm gonna swirl. Y'all can stay mad. Swirl, baby. Swirl, but don't turn your back. Don't turn your back, because when you having butter rolls instead of cornbread, you're gonna come back. You coming back. You coming back with a cornbread. When those butter rolls start getting caught and you like trying to swallow the dry. Okay, you know what? We've gone overboard now. We've gone over. Laws is saying, yes, we are modern. We are warm people of the sun. We are warm and loving. I have seen it. I have seen it. Listen, Shark, you know what? Listen, I can see, if there are some of you out there, Shark said she loves the string bean casserole. She says she loves those butter rolls. So you are a good candidate. So go forth. Go forth. Go forth. Go forth and have your butter rolls. Go have them. You know, we cannot stop you. We got Jacinta from Holland. What is it like? What is it like? I want to know. What are Black people like different places around the world? And on that note, listen, I'm going to see you later. Listen, I'll see you all later because you know you'll be back. 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 Hey, you'll be back. On that note, I'm jumping out of here. I will see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? Love yourself. Yes. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is fine-tuning your energy so that you know what it is that you attract back to you. Fine-tune your energy so that when you have something reflecting back to you, because I listen, the way I feel like that energy was reflecting back on one another in that restaurant that day. So it's like, if you are going different places and finding yourself in similar types of conflict, the only common denominator is you. So it's like, fine-tune your energy so that the world shows up differently around you, so that you don't have restaurant owners going viral for cussing you out. On that note, I will see you in the next video. Leave all of your comments below. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Peace. You all are so crazy. Listen. Ow! I just saw that that thing with Aunt Viv when she was out there dancing in her little leotard, talking about some. So listen, I'm gonna say goodbye to you all. So the first 20 or so people, we finished the video. So I'm gonna say goodbye to the first. Come on, let's do that Aunt Viv dance where she was like. That dance was so funny. You all are so funny. All right, hit the thumbs up, share the video, give your comments, but come over to the other page where this video will be edited. I got to edit this down. I can't believe we spoke for more than an hour today. I don't know how I do it. Hit the thumbs up, hit the share button, have a good time. And I will see you all. I'll see you all in the next video. I don't see any goodbyes yet. Valerie is saying, but I prefer the Black Pan-African man. I hear you, sweetie. All right, we got first one coming in. Tam Tam. Yes, it was fun. Thank you so much for coming through and commenting. People arguing in the comments. Oh, gosh. Okay, so we have Mel. Have a great day, Mel. Lovely day. Have a good day. Ezra, see you. Miami Kitty, have a good one. Growing Hands, see you later. Kimmy, see you later. Black Budafly, have a good one. Pink Secrets, have a great one. Oh, Ezra, I missed your comment about the UK. I'll have to come back. Through when we do the replay. And or if you can find your comment and copy it and then place it in the comments of the video, because I didn't see it. I'm sorry. You know, we was doing so much. Valerie, see you later. Pretty Nikki, see you later. Habisha, see you later. Honey Love wants to know my sign. That means you ain't been doing your job. If you don't know my sign, you ain't been rolling with Tanya. I'm a Leo. Same birthday as Obama. All right. I'll see you all later. Remember, we're coming back later today to do a video about that man who says this woman should die alone because she's average. So much ignorance out there. I will see you all later. Thank you all for coming through. You make my videos so lively. Even though they take longer when we have the comments coming in live, I enjoy interacting with you all. I'll see you all in the next video. All right. And Habisha's gonna go play some soccer. Oh, it is Friday. Yes, and go do your Aunt Viv dance. I'll see you all later. Peace.